Well, if he really was filming everybody, I mean, he had a lot of people at those parties, right? You know who said?
What's the material you want to work on? He's just looking at me. Then next thing you know, okay, hey, will you help me? I want to hear your music. So I come over there and I play the music. And he's sitting there, just looking at me, like waiting. Okay. So then my assistant was like, you know, he wants to hang out with you next week. And I was like, for what? He's like, I think he's trying to fuck you. That's what my assistant said. And I was like, oh.
You know?
Sounds rough, man.
Well, it's just amazing how many people in the Diddy party list that are supporting Kamala. Too.
Yeah, seriously. It's like insane.
Publicly, openly, like all in.
Yes. It's like J-Lo like was like his ex-girlfriend. and it's like now deciding she's like warning people against Trump. I'm like, well, wait a second. So how many people did she warn against Diddy?
Right.
Oh, 0. Okay.
Right.
Well, maybe we shouldn't trust her opinion.
Joe Rogan, Terrence Howard, and Katt Williams just went off after some wild files allegedly linked to Diddy surfaced. Even Elon Musk has chimed in, sending cryptic warning shots to the white celebrities rumored to be involved, many of whom are now reportedly trying to flee the country. Before we dive deeper, let's make one thing clear. Everything discussed here is based on speculation, online sources, and insider claims. I'm just reporting on what's being said. Don't shoot the messenger. Now, new reports from the prison where Diddy is being held suggest he might be ready to flip if it helps him save himself. And according to Joe Rogan, Terrence, and Katt, some major names could go down if Diddy starts talking. One name nobody saw coming? Uncle Steve, Steve Harvey. According to online chatter and hints dropped by Katt Williams, as soon as Steve got word of Diddy's indictment, he allegedly jetted out of the country, fast. And he didn't just disappear quietly. Word is, he wiped his social media clean of anything connected to Diddy, even deleting a 2017 tweet where he praised Diddy as a brother doing good for the kids. That tweet isn't aging well. Things get darker. Back in the day, Steve seemed tight with Diddy. He was even spotted vacationing in Italy with Diddy and Lori Harvey, who at the time was reportedly dating Diddy, after dumping his son Justin Combs. Yeah, messy. But what's really unsettling is a seemingly minor detail. Lori was seen in a photo wearing white nail polish. Sounds small, but if you've been following the Diddy case, you know how disturbing that is. In her lawsuit, Cassie revealed Diddy required all women around him to wear white nails, so they'd contrast with the skin of his black employees during what she described as disturbing and exploitative freak-off sessions he allegedly filmed. Even young Miami and Diddy's own mother were seen wearing white nails, raising even more eyebrows. Now people are asking, did Steve really not know? Or was he cozying up to Diddy for influence in Hollywood? At the time, Diddy was a billionaire, the CEO of Revolt TV, and had deep ties with big-name producers. That's why the streets are saying, if Diddy talks, we might finally find out why Steve left so quickly. And then there's Meek Mill. Ever since Diddy's arrest hit the news, Meek's gone completely silent. That's strange, considering their past relationship. Remember that viral video of Meek in the pool, with Diddy calling him daddy and saying he loved him? Yeah, that clip hits different now. Things are spiraling. If Diddy really flips, this could shake Hollywood to its core.
What's up, King Son? Man, you doing it, man. You deserve it, daddy. You putting in that work. Proud of you. I love you. Yeah.
Yeah, and when Diddy's case hit its peak, when names started dropping left and right in all those lawsuits, Meek Mill suddenly disappeared. Let's not forget, Lil Rod, who also filed a lawsuit against Diddy, made a shocking claim that Diddy was allegedly bending Meek Mill and offering him deals in exchange. As all this started surfacing, Meek hopped on a plane to Africa and started posting cryptic tweets. One even said he'd pay $100,000 to anyone who could help him figure out who was trying to connect him to Diddy. But the internet isn't buying it. They say Meek's just doing damage control, because word is, he might have been caught on some of the footage the feds have been collecting. If that's true, it's only a matter of time before the truth comes out once the case officially goes to trial. Meanwhile, Meek's been acting like he doesn't know what's going on. But nobody's fooled by that front. And it's not just Meek. Usher is reportedly panicking too. Usher has been connected to Diddy since he was young, very young. His name came up because of how deep their ties run. When Usher was just 13 years old, he was allegedly part of what insiders have referred to as Diddy's flavor camp, something that's raising serious questions now in light of everything coming out. And if you remember, Diddy's former bodyguard, Gene Deal, once made a disturbing claim. According to him, Diddy once sent Usher to the hospital bleeding from you-know-where. People are starting to wonder just how deep this rabbit hole goes, and who else might be exposed if Diddy starts naming names.
If you don't mind me asking, because I know the topic is sensitive, what happened to Usher?
I heard about some music executive from the industry back in Harlem. You know, I heard it from some music executives back in Harlem. And I'm not gonna speak on their name. They doing programs and everything like that, and they may be doing some programs, they may speak on it themselves. But I heard it from some music executives.
Where did you hear it?
Bro, you know how people be talking, and we was around some people, something like that, and then some people might say, yo, I don't F with that dude. And at the time, I didn't even know who the F Usher was. You know what I'm saying? It was one of those type of situations. And when people say, yo, man, I don't F with them, I'm getting out that industry and everything like that. You know, Puff sent this little kid to the hospital. How he sent him to the hospital? Man, nigga was bleeding from the, and that's what was said. I didn't even have a name for the kid at the time. Then you hear it, and that's what happened. So, and just to hear this, and this new thing where they saying that they got kids coming forward and said that he did that, man, that shit is crazy. And like I just said, you know, that's just something.
And just when you thought things couldn't get any messier, there's that old interview with Kevin Hart and Diddy. In the clip, Diddy casually jokes about waking up in bed with Usher when they were younger. At the time, people laughed it off, thinking it was just Diddy being wild. But now, with everything that's coming to light, nobody's laughing anymore. If Usher was caught up in any of that, he better lawyer up. Fast. Because if Diddy really starts talking, a lot of careers and reputations might not survive what's coming.
My brother right here from day one, we used to wake up and, pause, but like just back in the days when he was like 10 and I was a little bit older.
Then there's Jay-Z. He and Diddy have been tight for years. Business partners, elite parties, all that. But things start getting real shady when you bring up a woman named Kathy White. Word on the street is Kathy was allegedly Jay's mistress, and she mysteriously passed away after reportedly getting pregnant by him. For years, it's just been whispers, rumors. But now, people are saying Diddy might know the truth, maybe even have tapes. And that's not the only controversy with Jay's name on it. You might remember a lawsuit that came up a few months back. An anonymous woman accused both Diddy and Jay-Z of sexual assault, claiming it happened after the 2000 VMAs at some high-profile party in an NYC residence. But when the case hit court, things got shaky. The woman said her father picked her up right after the alleged incident, but in his testimony, he said he didn't remember anything like that. She also claimed she talked to Benji Madden at the same party, but Madden confirmed he wasn't even in New York at the time. Too many holes. Not enough solid evidence. The judge had no choice but to throw the case out. But that didn't stop the fire from spreading. Jaguar Wright came in swinging. She called out Jay-Z directly, said he's just as dirty as Diddy, maybe worse. Her exact words? He's the devil. Now, if Diddy has any kind of receipts tying Jay to what went down at those alleged freak-offs, it's curtains. Career over.
I have 3 right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his wife as well. They're a nasty little couple. They do nasty things.
What do you think happened with Kim
Keeping people against their will. Putting people on planes while they're unconscious, just like Aaliyah got on that plane. Unconscious. There's a lot of things that people don't want to talk about. She doesn't have a picture with him. I'm smarter than Claudia Jordan. I would never take a picture with the devil. Everyone knew he was the devil. He's been the devil for 30 years.
And who could forget that awkward birthday video *** Diddy singing to French Montana, both of them covered in baby oil. At the time, it just seemed weird. Now, with everything coming to light, people are watching that clip in a whole new light, and it's giving nothing but red flags.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear French. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
This is a special birthday for both of us.
Yeah.
And now that we know the feds reportedly found over 1,000 bottles of baby oil at Diddy's crib, yeah, that bizarre birthday moment with French Montana suddenly hits way different. But it doesn't stop there. Jennifer Lopez just got pulled into the conversation too. Remember that infamous club shooting with Shine back in the day? For years, rumors swirled, but now sources are saying J.Lo allegedly knew the real story. Word is, she was the one who carried the strap in her purse that night, and then lied to the grand jury to protect Diddy. If that's true, and Diddy flips, he's not the only one going down.
The irony is, there was a grand jury, we all had to go and speak at the grand jury. J.Lo testified at the grand jury, as did many other people. It needs to be reopened, because if that is in fact the case, she carried the gun in, and she lied to the grand jury. It needs to be reopened.
The irony? There was a grand jury. Multiple people testified, including J.Lo herself. But now, insiders are saying the case needs to be reopened. Because if it's true that Jennifer Lopez carried the gun into that club and then lied under oath to protect Diddy, that's not just scandal. That's perjury. That's obstruction. That's prison time. If the feds dig deeper and find proof, J.Lo might be facing the biggest legal storm of her life.
All those things, when you give up those things, but when you give up your manhood, I've never seen somebody recover from it. That was all the people that went to the puffy parties. That was all the people that did all those things thinking that there was never going to be a consequence for what they were doing.
That's exactly what Nata Rubin, one of the women injured that night, has been saying all along. She's been fighting to get the case reopened, even saying she's willing to have bullet fragments pulled from her face just to prove that Jennifer Lopez lied under oath. According to Nata, both Diddy and J.Lo need to be held accountable. And if it really comes down to that, J.Lo might finally be facing the consequences she's dodged for over 2 decades. But here's where things really start to spin. Whistleblowers like Katt Williams and Terrence Howard have started pointing fingers beyond just Diddy and Jay. They're calling out white celebrities too. The ones who've suddenly gone really quiet, moving like ghosts. And now people are asking, what do they know? And what are they running from?
Yeah, no, it's great. So tell me about your birthday party. Am I invited?
Yes. Yes, you're definitely invited. I invite you to all my parties. You just haven't seemed to show up.
No, well, is it on the East Coast?
Yes.
Well, that's why. Why don't you have one here on the West Coast? Because I work all the time.
Okay, well, maybe I have one at your house.
Where's that? Now, what time would your party start, let's say?
That's a different type of party, though.
Uh-huh.
No, it'll go from like 9:30 to like maybe 3 o'clock, 3 o'clock. And then, you know, we have the top 2 floors of the hotel.
Mm-hmm. And then it will carry on there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Then no, I mean the after party.
Mm-hmm. No, I know about them.
Even Elon Musk jumped into the chaos. He reposted a tweet calling out Ellen DeGeneres, not just for laying low, but for dipping out of the country right after the Diddy scandal exploded. And if you've been paying attention, Ellen didn't just go quiet. She disappeared. New photos surfaced of her in a quiet pub somewhere in England, rocking a completely different look, new hair, new vibe, and a whole new energy. She claims she moved overseas to escape the chaos in America. But the internet's not buying it. People are saying she's running, because Ellen and Diddy go way back. He was a frequent guest on her show, always cracking jokes, laughing, and hinting at wild nights. Now, with the heat closing in, some are wondering, what does Ellen know, and what is she really hiding from?